Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you a trick on how to format table objects in Excel. So usually we have alternating rows shaded on a table by default, and what if we want that to be alternating by 2 rows or 3 rows or 4 rows? I'll show you how to do that now. So I have some data here, sales performance. I'm going to turn that into a table object by pressing one of the cells in this range and pressing Control T. My table has headers. That's correct. Press OK. Up in the corner, under the table design tab, we have a table name option. I'm going to call this my table just so I can reference it a bit easier. I'll put in my table, then I'll press enter. Now that changes the table name to my table. So you can see here, by default, we get a design that has alternating shaded rows. But what I want here is for the first 4 to be shaded one color, then the next 4 to be shaded another color, and then alternating after that, in line with the changes in the product in the first column. So one way of doing this is to make your own custom format. And you can do that by going into the table styles tab here. So just so you know, if you've clicked out of the table, you won't see that ribbon tab. But if you click into one of the cells in your table, you should see the table design ribbon pop up. And then find the format that's been selected by default and copy it. So we've got this one. I'm going to right click and then press duplicate. And I'll call this whatever name, my design. And the key thing here is that we want the row stripe to be not 1, but in our case 4, because we have 4 lines of each product. So I'm going to set under stripe size the first row stripe to 4. And I'm going to do the same for the second row stripe. So instead of 1, I'm going to press 4. And what you should find is, after I pressed OK, it should apply the 4 rows in the order that we want. So if I go back into table styles, we should see the custom table that we just produced called My Design. If you click that, so there you are. That's how you would control the stripe, kind of like count the stripe number on a table. So if I was to type in product 5 here, it'll start with the orange stripe, so it knows that it's always counting 4. The next step to this is, what if you want it to be dynamic? So there could be a case where there's only 2 product 4s. Actually, let's do 3. So there's only 2 product 3s. If I delete those rows, what I want to see here ideally is these 2 are orange and then the rest of these are white. So how would we apply that? So the way you would apply that would be custom formatting. So I'm going to go back to our default design, which Excel provides you with, which is just the alternating. And then I'm going to untick the banded rows. So there's 2 ways of selecting this table. One way is to just go into this name box on the left hand side and click on My Table, and that'll select the whole thing. The other way is to hover over the first column corner until you get to this arrow which points diagonally downwards. Once you've selected your table, go into Home in the ribbon and then Custom Formatting and then New Rule. And you want to use a formula to determine which cells to format. In here, the formula you want is equals unique open bracket, and you just want to select the first column header and the first column value, and you'll see these dollars just pop up. So the first dollar is fine, the $B and the $7, but get rid of the dollar against the last row number. So we, in our case, we want $B, but 8 needs to be just free flowing, and then close the bracket here. What this will do is give you a unique list of text within the first column, and around this unique, go back to the equals sign, the beginning, and put a count A. So I'm going to close that bracket in here, and again go back to the equals and put in is even, and then open a bracket and right at the end close it, which will give us a true false as to whether the count of that unique expanding range is odd or even. Press format, apply whatever format you need to. In our case it's like this light orange. Press OK, and then OK again. And there we are. It does, you know, dynamically shade our table in, so it looks nice and neat for presentation purposes. Now, if I was to put in product 5, let's see what happens. And sure enough, we get our shaded pattern in the right way. And then if I was to put product 6, hopefully this changes to white. Yeah, and again it stays until. So that's how you would dynamically change the shading on a Excel table object. And this is really useful if you want to make a large table look neat, where you want to define the changes in any kind of like column. So that might be changing in a department column or a product column or a country column. It's a good trick to know. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and it's something that you can see yourself applying in the near future. Till next time, happy excelling, and goodbye.